Good morning. Happy Monday. Gosh, it seems a little weird to be talking about January 4th when it's only December 14th, but since it is our last week of in person last week of school before we break for the holidays, I wanted to send out a semi quick message with enough detail that it might go a little bit longer than what you want, but a quick message so that you know what to plan for and what to expect because we want you guys to make sure that over the holidays you have a true break, that you relax, that you're not worried every minute about what you've done, what you've not done, what you have to do, that you get a true break. And so the intention of having all this out to you early is so that you can plan ahead, see what the expectations are, think about what you need to do for that day, and clarify some things. So the first thing I want to do is clarify several questions that I have been getting across the board. January 4th is not a student day. So there is no need for you to be prepared for January 4th, and you will not be having your morning meetings. So for virtual teachers, you're used to having morning meetings. For hybrid students, you're used to that Monday, that quick meeting to get them going while they work asynchronously during the day, doing some remote things. January 4th is not a student day. So that is not part of your schedule. Sorry for that little pop up there. So that is not part of your schedule first. Second, it is anticipated that by approval of the board next Monday, the 21st, which is our board meeting, that we will be doing a week of remote that January 5th through the 8th, similar to what we did after Thanksgiving. So that's the assumption, and we do need to wait for the board to approve that, but we assume that that's what's going to go through. I just want to make a note for my hybrid teachers on what the expectations are. So again, on Tuesday morning, what our families need to know is what time that they are going to be expected to connect with you synchronously so they can plan that throughout their week. If you have that done Monday night or Tuesday morning so that parents know Tuesday morning when to meet with you, and I would make that morning similar to what you do on Monday morning. And then you can plan all of the instruction. It doesn't have to be done for the entire week. On Tuesday, if they know what they're doing on Tuesday, and by Tuesday night, you have what you're doing the rest of the week. Here's the thing. You guys know if you are in person, whatever our plans are on that week, our first week back to school with our kiddos goes a little slower than the anxiety that we feel of trying to catch them up. So less is more, slower is better. Give yourself some grace because we certainly are. So expectations is that Monday is your learning day. It is your day to do what you need. Tuesday will start the school week. And as long as your families know on their weekly schedule what time that they will be meeting live with you for the week, that is all you need to start Tuesday morning. So you can give yourselves a little bit of a break on the expectations for that week. Really, we appreciate how diligent you have been about having those weekly schedules to families on Monday mornings because that has made a difference for them. And we appreciate that very much. But we wanted to be really clear that that Monday is not a student day and there is not those expectations. So let's talk about what the expectations of January 4th are. The expectations of January 4th are it is a district professional development day. You are professionals. What do you need to do? We will need you to complete the Google form survey that serves as your sign in and sign out. We need to upload that with 80% participation in order for it to count as an instructional day. Also, you need that as a reminder. That is your sign in and sign out to get the sketchies for that day. The sketchy form is filled out in such a way that says we are going to focus on continuing transformation of instruction and that there is going to be an emphasis on remote, hybrid, and virtual learning this year since that is reality for all of us. Within that context, it is very loose, just like it was last year. What is it that you need? And so we have put together with the help of teacher leaders and district curriculum council and with the executive committee from the union for the elementary people, we have put together some choices that we recommend and that were based on what we are hearing that you need. But none of this is required, okay? So not required, recommended, curated for you to help you as you go through this world we're experiencing and this delivery of instruction. So you are going to get a s'more later in the week. I don't have all the links yet, so I'm waiting until I have all the links to send it out, but I want to go through it with you real quickly. Just cannot emphasize enough again, these are choice offerings. There's no expectation of how many that you attend, if any. They were curated based on what we have been asked to provide, but you decide what you need. So we will have Jody, our trainer from HMH, who introduced math expressions to us before the school year. She is going to offer 3 one-hour training sessions. These are live with her. And those of you who attended with Jody know that she is a great trainer. That hour goes by quick. There is a lot in there. She is very helpful, and she also makes herself available for follow-up afterwards. So our teacher leaders chose the following 3. The first one is going to be identifying program resources for synchronous, asynchronous instruction during distance learning. That sounds like something that definitely most people could use. I know if I was using that new tool, I would be right at there. I want to point out it starts at 8:30, even though our PD day is from 8 until 3:30. We have given you some time to organize, to get together with your team before jumping in at 8:30 for any training you want to do. Also, please note that we're doing a 15-minute break in between each of the sessions. So even though the sessions are concurrent, there's a built-in break in between them. So if you're attending more than one, or if you're meeting with people who are attending, it gives you a break time for another cup of coffee or tea and a bathroom break. So the second training is from 9:45 to 10:45. It's exploring program resources for small group differentiation. So important no matter how we're delivering instruction for our students right now. And then the last one is using the program data and assessments to monitor progress and inform instruction. It's really important that we're using our Tier 1 resources and NWEA as our progress monitor for math to be our main resources for how we're monitoring our students' progress. So all 3 of those were chosen by teacher leaders, and I thought they were just a great offering for you. Please note, if you do plan to attend once this s'more goes out, if you could sign up for them, it gives the trainers an idea of how many people to expect. That does not mean if you haven't signed up Monday morning and you still want to attend, you can't. It just helps them for planning purposes. And even though I'm sending this out later this week, I will also send updates on Monday and probably even throughout the day as reminders. If you're anything like me, you intend to do some things and then you get working. And if there's not a calendar set or reminder, I will realize that I missed something. So I'll send out some reminders for you. The next thing that you're going to have here is a choice board, similar to what we did for the PD at the start of the school year. So it will be a Google slide that's as a web page, and it's clickable. We're going to focus on Mystery Science, Raz Kids, Go Guardians, Google Meet, a remote essentials training in Schoology. If you have not finished that, I highly recommend that you at least go see the pieces. And one of the things I would recommend is not just the tools, but there are some great instructional strategies. So if you have not worked with or gone through the 6 hats strategy or our critical friends protocol, those could be used even with our littlest of learners in a modified way. I highly recommend that you look at the instructional practices. I hear a lot of conversations about getting students connected and collaborating and working together, and so those strategies will be really helpful. Now, if you are K2, that's it. Your choices that we're providing for you are complete. That is all of them. Quick reminder, you're not expected to do any. It's highly recommended. They were curated for a reason, but you know what you need to do with that day. The only thing that's required is filling out that form at the end of the day. So for our 3rd through 5th grade, we have 2 additional trainings and resources that are really important and very timely, but really only apply to 3rd through 5th. The first one is that NWEA MAP Skills. This is the last year, so we did not renew that resource, but we did purchase, and it will be ready by January 4th. We did purchase their replacement, which is called Map Accelerator. And I'm really excited about this. And some people who have played with it a little bit, this actually came from the teaching consultants who had attended some training and we're looking at the next pieces for assessment. Essentially what this does is connect students' NWEA scores with Khan Academy, and it provides you a dashboard within within the mapping, or excuse me, yeah, the map accelerator. So it's a little bit easier to make those connections. And that's all I'm going to say, because I'm not great. I'm not the trainer, so I'm going to let you look at the training. But I do know that it's really important that we continue to have our students, when we're differentiating, that we're using the same assessment tools. So many times when we go to different platforms, kids are then getting assessed again, and they're not necessarily aligning. So I highly recommend that we are doing the bulk of our assessing, monitoring, and then also differentiating through our math expressions and through this new NWEA resource. NWA Map Accelerator is going to be an on-demand in the NWA Training Center. We're getting all that together, so it probably will be Monday morning, January 4th, before you receive the instructions on how to access that. Probably a good hour in order to do the overview video, set up your account, play in it a little bit. Could be more like an hour and a half or two if you're really excited, wanted to start assigning and doing some things already. But again, that's choice. So it's when it works for you. And if it's not on that day, that's perfectly fine. But I would highly recommend that for 3 through 5, that your PLC groups are familiar with that, at least one or two of you, so the rest of you can support it. So when we get that mid-year data, for NWA, we're able to use that between the math expressions and NWA. We can differentiate for our students right where they are at within our systems. The last one is document-based questions. And that is live. Amali Kent is our trainer. She is a former elementary teacher who used DBQ in her classroom. She is the trainer that 6th through 12th grade social studies and ELA, the highest reviews outside of CBD that we've ever had for training. She is just fantastic, and she knows your reality because she's been there as an elementary teacher. So very practical training. DBQ I've sent out several times. It's document-based questions. It does have a writing curriculum that's based on social studies and ELA standards-aligned material. So this was designed to help support our need for resources in both social studies 3 through 5, and also that informational text writing that we know is missing in some of our Journeys resources. There will be an hour and a half introductory training. Usually it's a half day or full day sessions, but Amali is going to give you an introduction so you can jump in and start using the resource. If it does not work for you on this training session, please note that she will be back on February 16th for our next training to also offer it, because we know there's a lot going on in January. Like with the math training, because this is synchronous, there will be a RSVP, and we ask that you do that if you know for sure you're coming, just because it helps her to plan for how many people, but that in no way implies that if you have not done that, that you cannot sign up for it. All right, so that is the end of our choices, but to reiterate, these are your choices. You know what you need for that day and what to plan for your students. We highly recommend that you are using the resources and the training we provided, because it helps you to go more deeply into the resources we already have, instead of spending your time looking for other resources. That takes so much of your time and has our families then going out to different areas. Last, thank you so much for all that you are doing. The feedback we continue to get is that while this is not necessarily what anybody would choose, whether our families or our staff, that consistently our families know how much you care about their children and how much you're doing to support them, even if it's not in the method that they would most desire. So thank you for that. If there are any questions, please don't hesitate to send me an email or give me a call. We can talk through them. And if I do not see you or talk to you before, please take the time for rest over the holidays. It is well deserved. We appreciate everything you do.